just started Wuthering Waves and you want to get your hands on some of the most powerful weapon you can get 100% for free and not have to go through the pull system, and all you got to do is, well, a little bit of mining? Well, I am here today to show you how to get your hands on some rarity 4 weapons quickly, easily, and also help you maybe get a couple other things while you at it. So to start off here, you can go ahead and do that pretty much almost as soon as you start the game. Once you get into the main hub city and you have the freedom to run around to do whatever you want in the open area, we can go ahead and start getting our hands on this equipment. So to start off here, you want to go ahead and make sure you go ahead and unlock the teleportal over here on the top right of the main city here. So once you actually have that way, that will be a lot more helpful and useful for you to actually get your hands on it quickly. So once you have that available, you're going to go ahead and run over here to that part of the map, and you will go ahead and find your blacksmiths as well as your crafting PC as well for the blacksmithing class. And we're going to go ahead, hit up the crafting table itself, which can be found over here behind the NPC. And from in here, we will go ahead and see a handful of equipment we can get. We can also get some rarity 3 equipment, which is the green weapons, and the rarity 4, which are the main one that we are interested in getting our hands on here. And of course, this is going to require you to do some grinding and farming. Lucky enough, a lot of it we can go ahead and get easily, but nonetheless, before we get into the exact details of that, as you can see, you can go ahead and get your 4 types of weapon here with your sword, your katana, your gun, your gauntlet, as well as this weapon as well. So you can pretty much knock out all the main character right at the beginning. So over here on the far right, we can go ahead and see we need to get our hands on 2 materials, elite for the rarity 4 stuff, and of course these are this in metal type, right along with of course the standard weapon mode, which that one is going to take a little bit more work, but nonetheless we will go ahead and get to that in a second, because let's go ahead and talk about the mining materials and how to actually get these and where you can get your hands on these in the open area. So of course, as you are wanting to the open area, you will go ahead and find things that look like this, which are of course mining points in the game. So there is a grand total of 4 different metals for you to get your hands on when it comes to all the crafting materials. And when it comes to the 4 items that you can get, let's talk about, of course, that one behind me, which is the 4 amber. And these you can go ahead and get just by hitting them a handful of times, and you will go ahead and gather one of them. And our next piece of metal is the scarlet horn, which is the red little spiky things right here. So like before, we're just gonna go ahead and hit them and go ahead and get our hands on a couple of these. And then we have our fragile purple, which of course look like this. Kind of easy to actually spot that one, since well it's very purple. So let's go ahead and get that one. And from there, let's go ahead and talk about our very last crafting material here, elite for mining anyway, which is the land pyramid. So this is of course this type of metal you can find right here. So let's go ahead and grab it. Just know that material specifically is a super well and hard to come by a material, but lucky enough, I do have a ability for all you to track all this and find out where all the metals is inside of the game as of right now, which is of course thanks to a interactive map that you can go ahead and look at right now at withering.gg/maps. I will have the link down in the description. And not only can you go ahead and find all the locations for all the metal, but also plenty of other items and loot and all the echoes as well. So this is extremely helpful. Any of you not just looking for metal, but for metal, it's extremely helpful. And of course, there is one other thing to keep in mind when it comes to farming the materials, is these are set to a 24-hour reset. And of course, once you actually do it, you of course gonna have to wait 24 hours for the to respawn. But as far like how much materials are out there, as well as how well that last one where we ended up farming, we can go ahead and see here exactly how many of each of the metals are in the game. And once again, the metal that we just collected does, at the time of this video anyway, only have 70 a day. So keep that in mind of why you are farming. So with metal out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the second item we need to get our hands on here, which is of course the standard weapon mode. So this is going to require us to do some more bosses and some weekly bosses. And of course, at the time of this video and the release of the game, we have 2 here. And of course, one of these with Gar. If you play through the main story, you have already ran into him as well. And then we have, of course, the Bell boss as well. So at this point, if you have found the bosses, or maybe you got a preference over one or the other, we need to go ahead and go do this. Since we need to get our hands on a few of the items from them. There is one other little side note about the bosses. Of course, to actually be able to do this, you are going to have to progress through the story a little bit to you unlock the ability to take on specific hunts for the bosses. But nonetheless, I will still go ahead and show you where you can find these once you actually do have the quest type available to you. So let's go ahead and start off with Gar. Gar, you probably know exactly where he is already if you've been doing the main story, because once again, you have to do it for the main story for him. But nonetheless, once you actually get the bosses available for you to take them on as a actual quest, you're going to go ahead and find Gar right up here near roughly the main city, and where you have already fought him in the village. And then when it comes to Bell, you can go ahead and find them a little bit to the left from Gar down here in the stream, and you will go ahead and find him here once again to continue doing the main story until you get the weekly bosses unlocked, and then you can go ahead and start farming them to get your hands on the material. And once you go ahead and have all the metal, all the modes, let's go ahead, head back to the main town once again over here on the far top right, and you can get to it from the teleporter. And we're just gonna go ahead and just click on the board behind the NPC once again, and from here, if you have collected the white materials, you can go ahead and pick whatever 4-star weapon you want to go ahead and start off here with. And once again, this is extremely helpful, especially early on, if you are any more so as a free-to-play player who is saving up your pools, or maybe you just have had really bad luck overall getting you a decent weapon. That will be at least a good starting point for you. Be sure to do this. Be sure to get your items. And once again, if you do want to get something a little more easier, there is also 3 stars available for each of the weapon types as well. And just like that, you are good to go. So if you have found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, make sure to do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells below. And of course, let me know below, who are you playing as right now? Do you got yourself a husbando or a waifu? Let me know down in the description. And of course, like always, there will be more video coming, breaking down any more stuff that you need to know about this brand new gacha game from how to farm to what to get. And also, be like her and hit that subscribe button like she is rubbing on that gun. And with that, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. And like always, I will see you in the comments.